Hello Stampers and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I am showing you this fabulous easel card. As you can see with this one here, it is flat and still actually mails perfectly in a regular size envelope. But you can see on this one, it pops open for that fabulous easel look and that cute little insert. So I'm going to show you how I created this card and give you some tips and tricks along the way. I got the fabulous idea for this from Kim Peck, and I just modified it with some different colors and stamps for a completely different look. But I am having so much fun with it. It's super, super cute. So I actually started with a piece of Whisper White measuring 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I actually used the thick Whisper White cardstock for this. This just gives it a little bit more of a sturdy base so that it's nice and strong since it is just one sheet. And then I took a piece of 1 inch by 4 inch strips of designer series paper. This can be any designer series paper that you wish. I am using the Peony designer series paper. And I actually recommend putting these on first because you can always cover up a smidge of these, but it's sometimes hard to get it there whenever you put that first center insert on your card first. So I'm just going to put them on either ends with very little Whisper White hanging off the edge. So just a hair hanging off the edge there on both ends. And then now I'm going to take a regular piece, not the thick Whisper White, but just regular Whisper White. And this piece measures 8 1/2 by 3 1/4. And I went ahead and I scored it at 4 1/4 so that it would fold in half. And then using the greenery embossing folder, I used this one here that has that fabulous greenery coming up from the bottom as well as down from the top, or vice versa, however you want to see that. And I embossed just the 1/2. So I went ahead and I did my score line so I knew how far in to go. And then I just placed my cardstock in to that score line and embossed it. And then I went ahead and I actually scored this piece in half as well for that easel look. So now that this is folded in half and embossed, we're going to place it onto our card front. I like to use tear and tape on this part because it is like a working mechanism. I like to use tear and tape because it's a little bit stronger and I just want to know that that piece is nice and secure. I love tear and tape because you can just literally tear it with your fingers. So no need to get out scissors and have your scissors get all gunked up or anything like that. It's just really easy to be able to apply to the back of a project. So now my tip for this one is to add it flush with the top, and your open ends should be at the bottom. Because if for some reason your cutting is a smidge off, because we all know that that happens, if you have any overhang, you want the overhang to be on this end so you can cut off these two ends rather than on this end where you have that crease. Because if you were to cut off the crease, you would end up having two different pieces of cardstock and you would no longer have that nice little fold. So I'm going to go ahead and center this in the middle of those two designer series pieces. Paper pieces is what I was trying to say there. A lot of P's. So you can see that I am just a hair too long on this end, but I'm just going to use my scissors and the edge of the cardstock as my guide to go ahead and trim off the excess. And that just happens because your piece of 8 1/2 by 11 is sometimes 8 and a smidge over 8 1/2. Or if your fold is a little bit different or anything like that, it's bound to happen with a little bit of discrepancy with the cardstock cutting. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. So then this little easel piece folds up right on that score line We can always use our bone folder for that nice strong crease so that our easel stays popped up. And now it's time to decorate. So I'm actually using the Forever Fern stamp set. You can see that I use this Love and Laughter Forever After greeting for the front. And then I just used this little greenery piece and those little dots to decorate the inside. You can see I did that here. And I used basic gray ink for this piece. And I used all basic gray, so there's no need to worry about changing up and having multiple ink pads. It's just one ink pad and Whisper White cardstock with a little bit of that petal pink on the oval there. So I'm just going to stamp this down, and then now I'm going to ink up the little dots once and stamp just a few times. So I'm going to stamp like down here and around and just kind of go up and fill in just kind of around that, that image. I feel like I need one more over there just to kind of square that out a little bit. So that is perfect. Now for our front image, I used the ovals, the scallop ovals, the layering. There's the smooth and the scallop, and I used the scallop one from that, and then from the other set of the stitched labels, or the stitched framelits, I used the oval, and you can see it's got that fabulous little stitching around there. So it just gives a little bit of extra detail. I love using the stitches with the scallops. I just find that they layer together so well. And I almost use the stitched ones more than I use the smooth ovals, just because I really just like that stitching. It adds so much to a project without really adding much to a project. And if I'm going to die cut anyway, then why not do the one with the little extra fun stitching? So now I'm going to go ahead and add this to my scallop. And then now we're going to add this to our little front panel. So one of the things, I actually use Stampin' Dimensionals because you guys know I have to use Stampin' Dimensionals on every project. But you'll notice that there's a little bit hanging off. So you want to make sure that you're using your dimensionals and they're not hanging off on this area, or otherwise you're going to end up laying it flat and sealing it like this without that crease. So one of the things that I actually did is I just put my dimensionals directly on this panel. And I want to stay away from this corner and that corner because, again, it's an oval. So you can see that those corners aren't there. So I'm actually doing like the center of the straight sides. And then because I'm an overuser, we're going to set one in the center too. And then you can go ahead and lay that flat and secure that on. The other tip, I had my fingers stuck to that. The other tip I wanted to share with you is you don't want it hanging off a lot down here, or otherwise it's not going to fit in your envelope. The other thing is it's not going, the easel is not going to stay standing because it's going to be popped up on that oval. So now we just want to decorate with a few rhinestones so that we can have a little marker to help hold our easel up. Okay, so here I have my rhinestones. You can pick whichever size you wish. And then I have my take your pick tool just because it makes it so much more quick and simple. So I'm actually going to use one of the big rhinestones, and I'm just going to place it right here just above that greenery, and it's going to be our little notch to hold our easel up. And then I'm going to add a few more rhinestones to our greeting up here. A lot of times I like to decorate with rhinestones in threes, and it ends up being kind of in a triangle pattern. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. I did it where it's like 1, 2, 3, but you'll notice this one I actually did 3 on the front and then did that 4th rhinestone right there. And this one I did 1, 2, 3 and included that one down there. So this one I feel like it does need another one there, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add one more rhinestone because why not? So there you have that fabulous easel card with the little rhinestone holding it up. You can always write up high here, or you can always write on the back of the card to the recipient of this card. And then they have that fabulous little easel card popping up to put on display. Super, super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial of this easel card, and I hope you try it out yourself. Of course, I'll have more pictures of this posted on my blog, laurastamppad.com. Don't forget that all of the supplies are listed in the comments below, so you can check that out and recreate this card exactly like I did. Don't forget to join my mailing list, and then you'll get all kinds of fabulous ideas and information about upcoming promotions and fun that I am offering. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.